Have you noticed, no matter how hard you work, how frugal you are, money always seems insufficient? Wages rise a little, but prices rise even more. You painstakingly save for years for a down payment, finally buying a house, only to be burdened with decades of mortgage debt. You think hard work will turn your life around, but banks, inflation, taxes, and consumer traps always seem to be a step ahead of you. I've worked on Wall Street for 30 years and seen countless people, some work diligently their entire lives, yet still worry about bills in their old age. Others went bankrupt 3 times by their 20s, but achieved financial freedom by their 40s. This made me realize one thing completely: the reason ordinary people never become wealthy is not because they don't work hard enough, but because they are systematically trapped in the poverty mindset. Today I'm going to tell you how this trap is designed, why it traps almost everyone, and how you can escape it. The systemic trapping of the illusion of effort. Eat Daily, the most dangerous belief of the poor effort. With wealthy, I've seen too many hard-working people on Wall Street. Workers waking up at 1 a.m. to catch the subway, white-collar workers working overtime day and night, too busy to even have lunch, but their financial situation has never truly changed because of their effort. Why? Because effort only offers a linear reward model. You earn as much as you put in the time. The problem is time is limited, physical strength is limited, and energy is limited. You can never achieve financial freedom by selling your time. The truly wealthy don't earn money with their time. They earn money through systems. What is a system? It's others making money for you. For example, when you work at McDonald's, you're working for the system, but when you own a McDonald's, others are working for you. The poor spend their lives learning how to better execute orders, while the rich spend their lives researching how to build command systems. Eat Dane Andal. Psychology of the system trap. Education tells us, be a good employee. Society tells us, stability is paramount. The media tells us, consumption is happiness. Banks tell us loans are reasonable. Thus most people spend their lives guided by the system, constantly creating value for someone else's system. The harder you work, the richer others become. The more frugal you are, the more the system drains you, because the entire game wasn't designed for you from the start. Iwan Adels, the underlying logic of finance: money isn't earned, it flows out. Eat Daily, the essence of wealth is flow, not storage. On Wall Street, we often say, cash is trash. It sounds harsh, but it's the truth, because inflation quietly steals your purchasing power every year. The dollars you painstakingly save might only be worth 8, 10 years later. Why don't the rich save money? Because they understand money isn't for hoarding, it's for flowing. Money is like water, only when it flows can it generate new wealth. And what the poor fear most is flow. They fear risk, they fear losing money, and as a result, they miss the entire wealth accumulation cycle. Arden Andal, how money flows from the poor to the rich. In my early years on Wall Street, a senior colleague told me, whenever a new policy is introduced, first ask yourself, whose pocket will this money ultimately end up in? For example, the US government prints money, causing inflation to rise. The poor feel that prices have risen, making life harder. Meanwhile, the assets held by the rich, real estate, stocks, company shares, all appreciate in value. Inflation is exploitation for the poor, but an accelerator for the rich. Have you noticed a cruel fact? The poor fear borrowing money, while the rich skillfully use it. The poor painstakingly save money, while the rich have banks lend them money to buy assets. In the end, the poor's money becomes the rich's interest. The trap of human nature. The poor lose due to the pleasure mechanism. Sendeni, the poor aren't stupid, they're deceived by their brain. Why do ordinary people always try to make quick money, buy impulsively, and chase highs and sell lows? It's not that they don't understand financial management, but that the human brain is inherently driven by the pursuit of instant gratification. Think about it. Watching short videos, eating sweets, buying a new phone, these are all instant gratification, but investing, saving, compound interest, are all delayed gratification. Human nature always tends to choose immediate pleasure, and the capital market exploits this weakness. Credit cards are a perfect example. Buy now, pay later, essentially lets you enjoy today and pay tomorrow. The poor are constantly trapped in a consumption cycle, while the rich use the same financial tools to buy assets, letting others pay for them. Sendenar. Emotion versus logic. Wealth accumulation is essentially a battle against one's own human nature. When the market is in panic, most people sell. When the market is in greed, most people rush in. Did you know that? I once knew an ordinary person who sold all their stocks during the Martelin buy financial crisis. He lost Bervin's sister, selling them in tears. 2 years later, the market rebounded, and what he lost wasn't money, but opportunity. True investment masters, however, buy when others are fearful and exit when others are greedy. This isn't a difference in intelligence, but a difference in emotion. Only those who can conquer their emotions can conquer the market. The mindset of the rich, they are not smarter, but think systematically. Sende the poor, look at salary. The rich look at cash flow. The poor ask, how much money can I earn this month? The rich ask, how much cash flow can I generate this month? Salary can only sustain life. Cash flow can change one's destiny. You might earn what? A month, but after deducting mortgage payments, car loan payments, taxes and insurance, very little is left. While the rich, even with zero income temporarily, can live well through cash flow generated from their assets. The difference isn't in income, but in structure. Sendenar. The poor pursue security. The rich pursue leverage. The poor fear unemployment, risk and failure. The rich, on the other hand, dare to gamble, because they know, risk is not the enemy, but a tool. They don't gamble blindly. Instead, they build multi-layered defenses, asset allocation, risk hedging, and cash flow protection. Like playing cards, they don't win every time, but they stay on the table every time. To win, you don't rely on a single comeback, you rely on not being eliminated. How to escape the trap, the path to success for ordinary people. The Vordnami Bashflight. Shift from money-making mindset to systems mindset. Stop asking, how can I make more money? Start asking, can I build a system that makes money work for me? For example, use AI tools to create automated content, generating compound interest income. Invest in assets that generate cash flow, rather than consumable expenditures. Let time, technology, teams and capital work for you. YCAT. Step 2. Building a wealth defense system. You must protect your principal. This isn't fear, it's strategy. The first rule of wealth, don't lose money. The second rule, remember the first rule. Learn to control spending, reduce debt, and build an emergency fund. At the same time, continuously invest in your knowledge, because your greatest asset isn't money, but your cognitive model. YCAT. Step 3. Cultivating a compound interest mindset for wealth. Do you know what the eighth wonder of the world is? Compound interest. Albert Einstein said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Those who understand it, earn it. Those who don't pay it. Even if you only invest a little each month, given enough time, compound interest will make your life's curve rise like a rocket. This isn't motivational fluff. It's mathematics. YCAT. Inflation-resistant income. Inflation is the nightmare of the poor, but an ally of the rich. To combat inflation, you must have assets with price appreciation rights. What are price appreciation rights? When the world becomes more expensive, your income will also increase. For example, owning your own brand, owning intellectual property, courses, and system, owning assets that appreciate in value, real estate, equity, content, traffic. When you can control prices, you can control the future. Conclusion. The true meaning of wealth. I spent 30 years on Wall Street, witnessing all the greed and fear in human nature. Finally, I discovered wealth is never about numbers, but about control. The poor are pushed along by life every day. The rich choose their own direction every day. True wealth is not about how much money you have in your account, but whether you can remain calm when others panic, whether you can maintain control during inflation, layoffs and crises. So I give you this advice. Hard work won't make you rich. Understanding the rules will. This is why most ordinary people never become wealthy in their lives. They're busy running, but running on the wrong track. Now it's your turn to choose a different track.